You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. We have good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good, an amazing being who's going to give you transformational information. You're going to be able to lean in, learn, and utilize these practical tips and tools because you're about to experience the great mother hen who's going to lay a big egg for you. But before we get there, I want to make mention to you 348,792 people around the world. And by the time we bring on Joe, probably about 360,000 people, that you've tuned in to the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, for one reason and one reason only. And it's the best reason, because you care most in the whole world about you. Y-O-U-E-W-E. And that's great because when you become the best you possible, you make the world a better place. You build more bridges, create more harmony. You bring more joy, happiness, peace, and love into the world. That's the reason you tune in. And thank God you bring your friends. And every week we have more and more, tens of thousands of people every week more. Because in this show, we discuss the three fundamentals of life. And when you utilize these three fundamentals, you will be happier, healthier, and wealthier. And who doesn't want that? And the three fundamentals are, number one, your life has purpose. And number two is when you live a purpose-driven life, you can go mad. Now, in this case, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to unlock and uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. Right now, if you're watching or listening, this is being carried over the internet. Ask anybody, what does www stand for? And invariably it has something to do with the internet. And factually speaking, they're correct. But in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, www stands for what a wonderful world. And what is a word, right? And of course, a tip of the hat and a big thank you to Louis Armstrong Satchel for enabling that song, What a Wonderful World, to go viral and touch not just tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. Whenever you hear the opening bars of that song, what do right away? You can't help it. You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you can ever utilize, internalize, and leverage in your life because SMILE is an acronym that stands for Seeing Miracles in Life Every Day. I got to tell you a quick story. Before the pandemic, when we used to speak in front of real people, so about 5,200 people in the audience, and God willing, that'll be happening again soon. You'll forget all about this panic-driven pandemic. And speaking to people, telling the story about Barry Shore and talking about SMILE, seeing miracles in life every day, people raising their hands and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours already. I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can be able to do that. Do you have water to drink, food to eat? You have a place to sleep? You have family, you have friends? Every single one of those is a miracle. Now, what's the simple proof? Simplest proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're listening to this or watching it, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation to live exuberantly. So what's a simple story? Imagine standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, and that evening be in the hospital totally, completely paralyzed. Paralyzed. Overnight. That was me. Not from a car or an automobile accident, not a spinal injury, rare disease took over my body and rendered me a quadriplegic. Nothing in my body moved. 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. I still cannot walk up a curb by myself. I can't walk up a stair by myself. And I've helped 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice, positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of this one word, seeing miracles in life every day. Now, I got to tell you, my 8-year-old niece comes over to me a couple of weeks ago and she says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? And I thought about it. Smile sounds the same. Why not? And I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. I like that. Out of the mouth of babes. But what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a wonderful acronym that stands for causing, rethinking, enabling all to excel. You have over 100 billion brain cells, and you have 120 trillion synapses connecting them all, and they're there for more than considering what kind of latte you want this morning. The ability to use your own neuro-linguistic programming and to choice, not chance, determines your future. As you're going to hear from an amazing guest, it's going to give you tools to be able to choose how to accelerate your world. Now, before we bring on our amazing Joe, I want to warn everybody, I'm warning him. I use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word. I do it because it's fun and the shock value. And the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are live, life, hope, grow, free, gift, play, pray, swim. 4-letter words. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun? Yes. F-U, capital N, capital N. Now, right away, people raise their hands and say, hey, Barry Shore. Fun is only spelled with 3 letters. No, not in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Fun is spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, when you see your family and friends and you have a twinkle in your eye and you point your finger and say, F you, everybody. I say, where'd you get that? Remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Where'd you get that? He said, I listened to Barry Shore, The Joy of Living. It's a great way to open up. So as we said, we're going to be bringing on our amazing guest. And before we do that, I want to urge everybody to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now the rest of your life, because it will help you, make you happier, healthier, and wealthier, and help your family, help your friends, and the whole world. And the 2 most powerful words in the English language are thank you, thank you, thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. That's what thanks stands for. Now, I read in the Dalai Lama's said, and I read in his writings, be thankful whenever you can. And he says you can always do it. Be kind whenever you can. Now, imagine the following. Go back into your coffee shop, you walk in, you order your fancy latte, you sit down, somebody brings it to you. Say thank you. You walk in the coffee shop, order your fancy latte, a few minutes ago, nobody brings it. You go to the counter, say, oh, I'm sorry, we're busy, I forgot, we'll bring it to you. You sit down, somebody brings it to you, you say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop and it's raining out. Somebody holds the door open for you. You say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining, somebody slams the door on you. You say, thank you. You are stuck in traffic, you're late for an appointment, somebody cuts you off, you say, thank you. You get up in the middle of the night, you stub your toe and it hurts. You say, thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. Kind is a wonderful word that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody that inspires noble deeds that's going to inspire you to soar into the world more than our dear friend Joe Apfelbaum. Joe, please say hello to 357,228 people around the world.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about hearing all the acronyms. The acronyms are incredible. So thank you so much for having me here. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I love the gratitude bit. What I heard about gratitude a short while ago is gratitude is the feeling of already having received. So if you feel like you already received it, you're going to behave that way and you're going to end up attracting what you want in your life. And I'm a very, very big fan of attracting joy, of attracting love, of attracting kindness. And so if you want to get more joy in your life, you have to be in that state. And in order to be in the state, you can't just think your way into it. You have to be, because we're not human doings. We're humans being. Joy is something that you are, that you become by being it, which means being in gratitude, being in a higher vibration, being on a different plane, not the plane of surviving, but instead the plane of thriving.
Thriving. So this is why I have asked Joe to join us, and he fit us in the schedule because this man is in demand. He is the essence of the law of attraction because people want to be around this being. By the way, I just want to mention to you, wonderful Joe, LOVE is a fabulous acronym since you mentioned vibration. It stands for living on vibrating energy. Living on the vibrational plane, because that's you. Now, you talked about law of attraction. Law, when people hear the word, they think, oh, law, something oppressive. Law stands for love and wisdom. So let's talk about you, because you're the chief hen, and you're going to lay a big egg, and I'll give you acronyms for both of those. Let's just jump right in and talk about high energy networking in joy. The stage is yours, dear sir. We have hundreds of thousands of people all over the world, most of them under the age of 38, and they're educated and they're curious. They're thirsting for what you have to share with us. HEN stands for High Energy Networking. So please talk to us about your book, what you do. By the way, everything you want to know about Joe, you don't have to write anything down. Everything's going to be at my website, barryshore.com. Just go to barryshore.com. Everything about Joe is there. It's just lean in and let this transformative being help transform you for the better. Joe, high energy networking.
So 10 years ago, I had no idea that I was afraid of networking. I just thought that, I like to meet people one-on-one, and I'm not the type of person that walks into a networking event and meets people. I didn't even know that networking was a thing, but when I found out about it, I said, you know what, let me check it out. Let me check out a networking event. Let me go meet other CEOs. Let me go meet other professionals. Let me go meet other people in sales and get to know them and invite them to my event or invite them to my business or something. And so I signed up for a Manhattan Chamber of Commerce networking event, and I showed up all excited, wearing a nice little dress shirt. And when I came out of the elevator, I was in shock. I had no idea what hit me. I wanted to run away as fast as possible. And when you're afraid, fear stands for false evidence that appears real. To me, it appeared like everybody was going to do something terrible to me. So I tried to run away, but the elevator wasn't coming. So I decided, you know what? Let me go get a drink. I saw a very nice guy by the bar. I sat down with him and he said, what can I order you? I said, I'll get a beer. So he got me a beer and we sat talking. And he said, do you know how to network? Have you been to these networking events? I said, never been. And frankly, it's my first time and I'm really scared. I'm really afraid. I don't know what to do. So he said, I'm in life insurance. I've been networking for a really long time. This is what you should do. Reach into your pocket, take out all your business cards. He said, how many business cards do you have? I said, I brought 100. He said, great. How many people are in the room? There's 93 people in the room or whatever. Why don't you just hand out your business card to everyone and then go home? And hopefully somebody will call you. And that's what I did. I walked around. I was wearing a Google cap. I was promoting a seminar. And I just walked around, handed everybody the card in a very awkward way. And then I left. And I felt really bad. You know why? Because I know that what I did wasn't the right way. I didn't build any relationships. It was not joyful for me. And it was not joyful for the people that I handed a business card to. Now, people were gracious and they took the business card and they said, thank you very much. But it was weird. It was super not human. Instead of being superhuman, I was being super not human. Because my fear stopped me from thriving. I just wanted to survive and just get out of there as quickly as possible. And what I learned after that by reading books, by going to seminars, and by attending hundreds of networking events and having thousands of conversations with people that I've built meaningful relationships with, is that networking is about connecting. Networking is about building real relationships. Not just about handing your business card to somebody and taking and hoping that they'll want to buy something from you, but instead really getting to know someone, like really having a conversation and figuring out, okay, what is your story? What makes you tick? And for me, that's fun. I thought that was just having friends. I thought that was just chilling. But networking needs to be joy. It needs to be fun, because if it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it. And most people are afraid of it because networking is very similar to public speaking. 90% of people are afraid to share their voice online because they're afraid that somebody will judge them. And the biggest judge is ourselves. We end up judging ourselves for not being perfect. I hated the way that I sounded before I went on a podcast. I used to listen to it. I used to cringe. And what I realized is that when I stopped judging myself, all of a sudden the world stops judging me too, because I am the world. I can observe everything around me and I can look at it as if it's judging me in a negative light, or I can be grateful for everything around me. And if I'm grateful for my contacts, my relationships, and I really get to know them, then I could be great at networking.
So let's put you on pause for a moment, because Joe, I'm happy to say, not only can go on speaking about great, wonderful, positive, purposeful, powerful things, but he mentioned three things I just want to unpack for the audience, then we'll go deeper. One is F you, Joe. Remember, when was the last time somebody said F you double N? Right. So you got to, if it ain't fun, it's not going to motivate. So the important thing is to make sure you want to have fun. You want to have fun. Now, the other is that people know the word, the sort of the negative acronym for fear. The other one, the more positive is, of course, is face everything and rise up. Because that's the genius of what he's talking about. Now, you just gave me a new acronym. Actually, you gave me two. One is a new acronym for KIND. KIND stands for KIND stands for Connecting in Networking Daily.
You got to do it every day. Yeah, you got to do it every day. If you don't have a daily discipline, if you don't have a discipline to do things on a regular basis, it's not going to grow. For example, bamboo, right? If you want bamboo to grow, you need to water it every day. You need to be grateful every day. You need to shower it with blessings every single day. Now, it's not going to grow right away. Bamboo, if you do any research on how bamboo grows, you realize you can water it for every single day for a year. You can water it every single day for 2 years. You can water it every single day for 3 years. And eventually in year 4, in 90 days, it shoots up like 40 feet. That's the same thing with a relationship. You got to keep nurturing and adding value, because the secret to living is giving.
So one of the reasons also I want Joe here is because we are kindred spirits, or kindred souls. Because when people ask me, what is the joy of living? I say, you can sum it up in one word: giving. When you recognize that you are a cog. Now, people think of a cog as something small in a big machine. But when you understand that the real essence, again, uncovering the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms, a cog stands for channel of goodness. When you recognize that you are a channel of goodness, a child of God, then by definition, things happen that we call good in the world. So this wonderful man who wrote the book called High Energy Network, again, everything available at my website, barryshow.com, he just laid, yes, there it is, high energy. He's a hen. So he just laid a huge egg. Egg stands for engaging gargantuan goodness. That's what he does. Now, you see how he's laughing and smiling? Because we're networking right now. Everybody watching this, hundreds of thousands of people, what Joe and I are doing is we're networking. We are conversating, to use millennial term, and we're urging others to participate by listening and understanding that what's happening here is available to you. Remember, the reason you tuned in is because you care the most about you. So let's go and talk about the idea of networking. Now we're going to take it from the broad aspect of networking and joy. Joy, by the way, stands for Journey of You. Did you know that, Joe? Joy stands for
you.
Journey of You.
If you want to be great at networking, you have to figure out who you are. I have a whole chapter on figuring out who you are in the book, understanding your strengths, understanding your values, understanding your purpose, your why. If you don't even know who you are, how are you supposed to connect with somebody else? So the journey of you begins with not being by yourself, but being with yourself, getting to know yourself. Most people, they have a bad relationship with other people. And the reason why they have a bad relationship with other people is not because the other person's bad. It's because they don't even have a relationship with themselves. They haven't taken the time to figure out who they are. If you're not happy with you, how are you going to be happy with them? A relationship is an entity on its own. And so in order for you to be successful at a relationship, you have to have a good relationship with you and stop judging yourself and really connect with yourself. And the only way to do that is to accept your weaknesses by understanding that every weakness comes with it a strength. Every weakness has a strength associated to it. So I am a person that cannot finish. And I used to say, "Oh, I'm procrastinating. I'm lazy and I never finish." But the truth is, I'm a great starter. I'm actually an activator. There's a book called Strength Finder 2.0, and he talks about the 34 human strengths. And every human has their top 5 strengths. You can do an assessment online to find your strengths. And once you figure out what your strengths are, you can use them to help other people. For example, I have a strength called ideation. I'm an ideator. I love it. It gives me energy. It makes me feel joy. So when I show up to a networking event, what I can quickly do is give you 10 great ideas for how you can promote yourself, or 10 great ideas of how you can take your life and your business to the next level. Because I'm an ideator. I'm also very strategic. What does it mean that I'm strategic? I can come up with really good plans for your business, for your life, for LinkedIn, for anything that you're doing. But it also means that I need to rely on other people to execute for me, because I'm not the best executor. I know what I'm good at. And so many times I used to focus on trying to fix my weaknesses instead of doubling down on my strengths. If you want to have joy in networking, you can't just try to fix your weaknesses. You have to figure out your strengths. You got to figure out your values, and you have to figure out your purpose, your why. So for me, my values are having curiosity, which means asking really great questions. If you want to be great at networking, you have to be great at asking questions, getting to know people, probing. You have to be really great at, and so for me, it's also about creativity, being creative. That's why I'm on these podcasts. That's why I write books. That's why I do webinars and seminars, and I'm always teaching, because I love being creative. I love rapping. I love singing. I love doing all that stuff. And that's why I love you so much, because Barry, you are inspirational and you're so creative. You're so creative, and you match my value of creativity. And my third one is levity, because I love having fun. I love making light of things, and I love joking around. And so once I know what my values are, I can find other people that match, that are compatible with my values. You can't have joy in relationships if you're networking with people, for me, for example, that hate asking questions, that don't like to ask the questions, that hate creativity, and that don't like having a good time. There are people that are like that, believe it or not. And I am not compatible with those people. I might even be allergic to them. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that I need to focus my energy in the right places. And where focus goes, energy flows. It's really important for you to use all your energy and point it in the right direction. And when you use joy and gratitude and love to propel you forward, you become unstoppable, and you have the enthusiasm that will fill people up in a way that will make them attracted to you or repelled from you. And if they're repelled from you, that's great. Let them go find somebody else to connect with. But if they're attracted to you, then you can make a difference in their life.
So we went and talked. I'm going to unpack several things that you just gave, and it was an aria. It wasn't a talk. It was an aria. It was a wonderful. And he said, "Where focus goes, everybody listens again. Where focus goes, energy flows." And be aware of your strengths. In order to be aware of your strengths, you have to actually sit with yourself and speak with yourself and write down, not just think about, write down your 5 top strengths, as Joe just said. You may come up with 34, but choose 5.
You can actually take an assessment online if you just Google, or you can put the link in the show notes on the website. Right. There's a Strength Finder assessment by the Gallup Center. You can buy the book and they give you the assessment for free, or you can pay $20 for the assessment. And if you take that assessment, it takes about 15-20 minutes. We make all of our employees take it because we want to put the right butts in the right seats. If you take that assessment, you'll know what your 5 strengths are, and you'll be able to put language to what you're really, really good at in life.
And it's so wonderful to be able to, as you said, attract those you want to work with. Let's be blunt. There are a lot of people in the world. And because of, let's say, the networking capabilities now of online, the world is truly your oyster. If you like oysters, I happen to like pearls. I don't want oysters, not kosher. But the pearl we like.
I like chocolate.
We want to find the pearl. And therefore, there are so many people. Don't worry about those that are repelled by you. It's okay. Just love the ones that you're with. That's a great song, by the way. Love the one you're with. Now,
Love
by
the
the
one
way, interesting enough, Joe, repel, I just realized as I'm looking at it, if you look at it backwards, the word is leper. So the people you repel, that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to make you go wild, and then we're going to talk about some practical, in-depth thing. I'm going to see if you can read this card.
It's
What does that
be
say?
a ask whole, and
Ask
thrive.
whole and thrive.
Yeah,
So
I
what
like
does
that.
ask whole stand for? Ask stands for always seek kindness, and a whole help others live exuberantly. Because when
Wow.
you help others live exuberantly, guess what happens? By definition, that's how you're living. You
Yeah.
can't help but do that. Okay, Joe, let's get really deep and practical. I want you to lay that egg, engaging gargantuan goodness. Give us some specifics where your expertise is so remarkable. One of the most highly praised networkers on LinkedIn is Joe Apfelbaum. You're listening to him right now. I mean, this guy rocks it when it comes to LinkedIn. So let's give 2, maximum 3 practical tips and tools that people can use right away when they go to the show notes. Say, wow, I'm going to do that because it works. Okay, lay it on us, baby. You're laying the egg.
LinkedIn is the largest professional social network in the world. There are 800 million members on LinkedIn. 40% are logging in every day. So Microsoft owns LinkedIn. They paid $26.2 billion for LinkedIn in 2016. And it's a powerful platform. It's different than Facebook and Instagram where people put pictures of their food or for their friends. And this is a professional network, a place where you meet CEOs, where you connect with people, where you build relationships. And if you don't use LinkedIn right now to network professionally, you're missing out on a massive opportunity. Now, the people that are using LinkedIn, most of them are lurkers. That means they're just watching. And if you're just watching and you're not taking action, you're not going to get results. Results doesn't come from just watching. Results come from taking action. Once you have a solid strategy for LinkedIn, which understanding what your goals are, who the people are that you're targeting, and of course, what your messaging is, you have your stories in place, you optimize your profile, you have some automations in place. The 3 major actions that I want you to do every single day is number 1 is get awareness. How do you get awareness? Is by posting something of value on LinkedIn. Barry posts things all the time. I post things all the time. Out of the millions and millions of people that are on LinkedIn, only 1 million posts go up a day. And most of them come from me.
By the
Most
way,
people
he's not kidding.
most people are not posting on LinkedIn. And I get millions of people to see me every single year on LinkedIn because I simply just put myself out there. I add value by posting. And we teach people the 6 different types of posts to put on LinkedIn. But the key is make sure that you're getting awareness with LinkedIn. Because if no one knows that you exist, or if you're not top of mind with people, they're not going to refer business to you. The second thing you want to do is you want to build credibility. How do you build credibility on LinkedIn? Is by being real. How do you become real? By engaging, liking, commenting, sharing, adding value. I love commenting on the people that I love, on the people that bring me joy, on the people that I want to stay top of mind with. And when I comment on their posts, I become real. I'm not just a person that's just an avatar, but I'm a person with an opinion. I'm a person that's adding value. I'm a person that's showing love to the people in my life. So if you want to be credible to somebody, start engaging. Pick 10, 15 centers of influence and make sure that on a daily basis that you're engaging on their content. And number 3, the third most important thing when it comes to LinkedIn is have conversations offline with people. How do you do that? You do that through the DM. You have a conversation and obviously not selling because selling is smelling. What you want to do is instead, you want to be nurturing people just like you nurture the bamboo. You want to be adding value. Greeting, feeding, and meeting is the process of nurturing your contacts on LinkedIn. The New Year's is coming. So tip for everybody here, take all your connections that you have on LinkedIn and send them a direct message. Say Happy New Year's or Happy Holidays or hope you're doing well. Connect with them, add value to them, and then take them through the nurturing process. And we walk you through this entire process. We may not have time to cover the whole thing here, but know that if you have awareness and you have credibility and you have conversations, you're going to be more successful and get to your goals.
Let's call that ACE. Here's the ACE in you. I'm just making it up because you gave it to me. ACE is awareness. C is credibility. And number 3 is engage.
It's
That's
conversation.
the ACE,
Yeah.
right?
It's the ace in the hole.
Right. Ace in the hole.
Awareness, credibility, and conversations, but engaging people in engaging conversations. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to build real relationships. Don't happen by just connecting. Most people are hoarding connections on LinkedIn because you could have up to 30,000 connections. So don't hoard connections. Instead, build relationships, get to know people, have experiences with them. If you build real relationships, you're going to grow your business.
By the way, it's so important to unpack something right now. What Joe is sharing with you is the wisdom of the ages. Awe, by the way, is a great acronym, Joe. Ancient Awe, AWE.
Wisdom.
Ancient wisdom explains, educates. What you just said is the wisdom of the ages. In other words, this is what should be taught in every family, every school, every church or synagogue or mosque, any place that people gather. People should be speaking about this, which is giving for each other. And by definition, you're building. See, when you really want to build something, you really want to gain more business, let's say. The way to do it is by becoming a go-giver. If you become, like you said, needy and seedy, then selling is smelling. But if you offer people that which you are and do, your service or your product, by definition, there'll be people who want it because they want to do business with you. When you are authentic and you're creative and you're just being you, then people say, what is it that you have? Can I share with you? Now, share is a great acronym. It stands for, because this is what you do, Joe. You want to share, right? Share stands for spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy. So you just outlined 3 fundamental pieces about LinkedIn. Now, by the way, we're going to go for a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Don't go away. Everybody's they're sending me chat notes saying, I need more Joe. But you'll have more Joe. You're going to come right back after this brief message. Hi, everybody. Barry Shore here, the ambassador of joy. We've entered into the fall season, and fall means coming up to winter, holidays, all kinds of stuff, not just stuff, stress, S-T-R-E-S-S. You know, I've spoken about stress many times on the show, and with stress coming on with the holiday season, everybody wants to be happy and such, but everybody knows what's going on. I want to talk to you about something really important for your benefit. It's called Talkspace, Talkspace, Talkspace.com. This is an online therapy program, a show, website, and it's available for you. It is so important for you to be involved. You all know my story. Standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, in the evening, quadriplegic. Okay, nobody has to go through something that drastic to know that speaking to somebody, a professional, licensed therapist, can be of benefit. I know it's true. It helped me. It can help you. This is so easy to do. You are talking about secure, professional process. It's the #1 online therapy platform in the country. It works around your schedule, your convenience. I urge you, please match yourself with a licensed therapist. Go to Talkspace.com, Talkspace, Talkspace.com. Get $100 off your first month with the promo code Barry, Barry. Go to Talkspace.com, put in the promo code Barry, Barry, and you'll get $100 off your first month. Please do it. You'll thank me. Best wishes. Bye now. Imagine the kind of place you would want to shop for your favorite fur baby pet. HonestPets.co. Well, you found it. HonestPets.co. Not .com, .co. This is your go-to spot for the best, the cleanest pet treats that exist anywhere on the planet. All of the brands go through a rigorous review to make sure they meet the high standards of cleanliness, health benefits, and naturalness. This site was started by a husband and wife team, and it's veteran-owned, and that care about pets, especially dogs and cats, and coming soon, bird treats. These are very nice young people who really care about making a difference, because a portion of proceeds go to support veteran organizations with a focus on service dogs. This is the place where you want to go. You want to tell your friends this has the finest, yummiest, freshest, all natural treats and stuff for your fur baby. So go there, honestpets.co. honestpets.co. Do it now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. We have found good. We have a gold mine. We have a huge ore deposit here in this amazing being named Joe Apfelbaum. So I would like, if you'd be so kind, Joe, because people are asking, let's narrow it even more. You're talking about 800 million people on LinkedIn. That's great. But only 1 million are posting every day. You hear this, everybody? That's 1 out of 800. Excuse me. I think you want to be in that rarefied group of the 1 out of 800, right, Joe? Isn't that what you said?
100%. You want to make sure that you're not trying to go viral. Going viral means getting COVID. And many of us already had COVID. But we don't want that. What we want is, instead of going viral, is we want to be strategic. The right strategy will save you a decade. You can spend the next 10 years spinning your wheels trying to be famous. But you don't need to be famous. You just need the right people to see you often. The right people. So who are the right people for you? I want you to think about that. For me, it might be marketing directors, CEOs, sales trainers of specific types of companies. If you know who you want to connect with, you can easily, with the right training, you can easily find them on LinkedIn, connect with them, nurture them, build a relationship with them, stay top of mind, and that's what's going to drive revenue to your business. Anything that you need in life, you get from your relationships. You get your trauma. We all needed our trauma to grow. And you also get healed from your trauma through your relationships. And so your relationships will help you get to the next level. You are born because you were loved. You were loved. That's why you're alive. If you weren't loved as a child, if nobody loved you, you wouldn't be able to thrive. Babies cannot thrive if they're not loved. And your relationships cannot thrive if you don't love them. But you can't love your relationships if you don't even know who they are. So with LinkedIn, you have to get to know the right strategy. Remember, your plan, your people, your promise, making sure you have the right written strategy. We teach our students the step-by-step process for how to create a strategy. We had a lawyer that joined our course recently in our coaching program, and he said, Joe, I have no idea how to use LinkedIn. I don't know what to do. So we sat down, we created a strategy for him. We figured out his plan, his people, and we taught him the step-by-step process using our strategy framework for LinkedIn. Well, guess what? He's doing $200,000 a year right now on LinkedIn. He's a real estate lawyer. Same thing for real estate brokers, for mortgage brokers, for coaches, for consultants, for entrepreneurs, for IT guys. We teach you the step-by-step process of what to do on LinkedIn, but you have to have that foundation. If you don't have a strategy, energy without strategy is a waste of time. Now, you can waste time. That's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind sometimes just chilling and relaxing, but that's what Instagram is for. That's what Facebook is for. Chilling, having a good time. When you're on LinkedIn, I want to make sure you're being strategic. I want to make sure that you're using leverage. Leverage means that you're going to pick up something that's much heavier that you can't pick up yourself. Leveraging technology, you'll be able to finally have the joy, the peace, the freedom, the love. Because who loves drudging in the mud? Instead, what you want to do is you want to be able to fly. You want to be able to take a leap of faith so that you can have a better life.
And Joe has a proven strategy that works. See, this is the key. So if nothing else, if all you do is listen to this 3 times and act upon what he's sharing with us, that's great. I obviously urge everybody, get the book. Get the book, and then, of course, read it and use it. And even consider taking his program. Get in the course. He's a hen, high energy networking. He lays big golden eggs, engaging gargantuan goodness, and it will be to your benefit because that's what he cares about. See, his relationship with people is, I am here to bring value. because that's the only thing that makes him feel better. He really likes feeling good. The best way to make him feel good is to tickle him. But since I can't tickle him right now, the best way to tickle him is use what he has available, because he learned the best way and the hardest way. He went through stuff. As he told us, he went to a networking meeting and he was a jerk. He gave up business cards. Ah! But you know something? That's what 98% of the people do. Because unless somebody guides you, why would you think any other? You know that this is what he is. He has become a guide, and because of the world today, we can have this. So let's talk about two other things, because I know your time is very short. We're going to have to close up shop in just a few minutes, but let's hear, if you'd be so kind, let's take the attorney that you just mentioned. Tell us two strategies that you urged this person to do and that he did, and what happened over the course of, let's say, 60, 90, or 180 days.
So strategy number one is posting the right way. So first of all, he wasn't posting at all. And when he started posting the wrong way. He included a link in his post. When you include a link in the post, the algorithm shuns that post. You got to include the link in the comments. Another thing that he was doing, he wasn't including hashtags. And the few times that he did include hashtags in his posts, he included hashtags that aren't popular. So we gave him our hashtag spreadsheet, and we gave him the top 100 most popular hashtags on LinkedIn that have the most followers. And he started adding 3 to 5 hashtags that were popular in each post, and that 10x the amount of people that were on his post, that came to his post, because he was using the right type of hashtags. The other thing that he wasn't doing was he wasn't direct messaging people. So he started direct messaging people, and then we analyzed his direct messages, and he was trying to just sell people. And I said, selling is smelling. We gave him our framework that has 365 greeting direct messages, and he picked the ones that match his personality the most, and he just started greeting his contacts. Well, that started turning into customers. When you start greeting people the right way, the right people, they are not alarmed all of a sudden. You're not selling them anything. You're being human. You're being normal. So we took him through our greeting, feeding, and meeting process, and between the posting and the messaging, he's able to generate $200,000 a year in revenue as a lawyer. And if you do the same, if you get awareness, if you get credibility, and if you start having real conversations by having a strategy, you're much more likely to be successful.
As I said in the beginning, how much more time do we have, Joe?
We probably have another 8 minutes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, we're going to go even deeper then, because some of the things that I want to make mention to people, everybody's heard of hashtags. But what Joe just shared with us is it's not just putting a hashtag that you think, oh, I like this hashtag. Everything he said is strategic. You know, there's a very fun game that people used to play a lot. I don't know if they do board games, called Risk or Stratego.
I love both of them. I'm very strategic. Like I said earlier, strategy is one of my top skills. So I love both of them.
It's super important in the sense of understanding you want to be able to have a large vision, and then you need to be able to bring it into a narrow cast and make sure that it happens. So as Joe mentioned, for him, execution was not his strong suit. So guess what he did? He aligned himself with people who can execute. So that was part of his strategy. He utilized, everybody should look up the idea of leverage, and look up a person named Archimedes. And if you don't know how to spell it, we'll spell it Archimedes. Archimedes. Look it up. He was in a city called Syracuse, not in America, but was in a place in the bottom of what now is called Sicily. And in addition to understanding certain other principles of mathematics and such, he's coined this great phrase: give me a fulcrum and a lever and I can move the world. And that's just what Joe told us. If you can use leverage, then who you are, let's say you weigh 150 pounds, you can move something that weighs 600, 800, 2,000 pounds, depending how you use your leverage. And the same thing in business. You want to utilize your time, your talents, and your strategy to maximize your effort. So in the few minutes we have remaining, Joe, I want you to spend just literally 2 minutes and go deep into one particular strategy that you think is a bedrock foundational process for LinkedIn.
Okay, so I have this book right here, and in chapter 40, I talk about creating the perfect templates and email that for direct messages. If you don't have templates prepared in advance, and we give all our students a whole list of different templates that work, if you don't have templates for follow-up, remember, the fortune is not in showing up. A lot of people like showing up and throwing up. I say instead of showing up and throwing up, show up and follow up, because the fortune is in the follow-up. And so how are you going to follow up after you go to an event and there's 30 people there and you want to follow up with 5, but then you have a bunch of meetings and you never end up following up and you never end up getting the benefits of the relationship. So as soon as I get home, I make a list of the people that are there and I send them a bunch of templates using software, and we teach everyone how to use those technologies. We give them the templates, teach them how to add it to their technology, how to integrate it. When I go to your profile right now, Barry, I can send you emails. I can send you direct messages. Click, 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 send, send, send. And I don't have to really think about it because the templates are created in advance. If you are not preparing to scale, you may as well prepare to fail.
Either you scale and sail into the sunset, or you're going to fail and be on the floor and say, why didn't I listen to Joe? So we got 3 questions, and then we're going to have to pack it up because his time is so there. First question, wonderful Joe. Ready?
Yes.
Will you come back again?
I will come back again in health and in blessings and in love, and I would be joyed and enjoyed to do it.
Thank you. Number 2, you have 80 seconds only to answer this. Ready?
I'm ready.
What is your most fervent desire?
My most fervent desire is for everyone to be healthy and happy and to be able to make a difference in the world and to find your own purpose, because so many people are stuck not knowing what their purpose is. I wrote a book called High Energy Purpose, how to find your internal purpose and tie it to your external purpose. And most people are just spinning their wheels. They're not feeling fulfilled. Success and fulfillment are not the same thing. So I want people to know that. I want to help more entrepreneurs go from frustration to motivation. If you follow your frustration, it'll lead you to your greatest fear. And when you overcome your greatest fear, that's when your greatness exists. I just learned scuba diving. I used to be afraid of the ocean. And in order to get over my fear, I had to take an online course and then get actual tactical training and do 4 dives in the ocean. And you're a big swimmer, so you know what I'm talking about. And then I learned about my breath and all that. So I want you guys to get in touch with your purpose, with why you're here, because people do things for reasons. And I want you to have not excuses. I want you to have reasons that you want to be successful. And so for me, I want to make a difference in your life and support you.
And number 3, are you ready for a hug in front of 366,822 people? And let me tell you what hug stands for. Ready? Heartfelt, unlimited giving, because that's who you are. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
I love that. I love that.
You're
Thank
listening,
you.
folks,
And
too.
for me, I have heartfelt, unlimited gratitude for you.
Gratitude. Thank you. It's another hug. We'll do big hugs. We might even do an hug later. Okay. You're listening to The Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, our amazing guest, Joe. And no matter, by the way, as great as he is, and he's wonderful, and as delightful as Barry is, and he is delightful, this show is only about you. YOU. That's why we're here, for you to become the best you possible. That's the reason you tuned in. And you know that on this show, when you use the 3 fundamentals of life, you will be, as he says, happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? The 3 fundamentals, of course, are life. Your life has purpose, like we just said. And number 2, when you lead a purpose-driven life, you go mad. MAD stands for make a difference. Number 3, unlock the power and the sequence of everyday words and terms, such as WWW, what a wonderful world. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day, as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking. Listen to Joe, causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. Use strategy in your life. Use 4-letter words, because in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, the 4-letter words that we use are love, life, hope, grow, free, gift, swim, pray, play, and tell the world F you. Add capital N right away. Say, where'd you get that? I said, listen to Barry Shore and The Joy of Living.
With
And
networking, it's follow up. FU stands for follow up and networking.
Follow up, networking, nicely. And use the two most powerful words in the English language. By the way, this is also what you do when you follow up. Use these two most powerful words in the English language at least 3 times a day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. That's the ultimate networking. This is what Joe really talks about. The ultimate networking is to harmonize and network kindness, because when you do, everything flows from there. As he says, you want the energy to flow, then go forth. Our blessing from Joe and me is to go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Joe, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.